another country that you are interested in, and we'll write on for
Yes,
the
I
Jerusalem
promise.
Strategic Tribune,
Yes.
is Cuba.
Yes.
Now, I understand the desire for regime change there on your part, as well as others.
From your lips to God's ears.
But I do wonder, how would this be executed? We have a history of tens of thousands of Cuban refugees washing up in Florida.
On our shores.
How do we avoid chaos?
So a couple of things. We have a very long history with Cuba, probably a 200-year history with Cuba, very complicated. The Cuban regime is very different than the Venezuelan regime. There have been some who've talked about we need to just find a Cuban version of Delcy Rodriguez, sort of the interim president who has appeared to be very cooperative and easy for us to work with. It's not clear that it's so simple for us to find such a Cuban Delcy Rodriguez. So you have to start with that. You're right. The Cubans have the option. There are very high percentages of Cubans who would like to leave Cuba. The Cuban government makes it difficult for people to leave Cuba. There is the absolute possibility they could make available rubber boats and rafts or materials to build rafts. You and I are old enough to remember the Mariel boat lift, which had about 100,000 Cubans showing up on Florida shores in 1980.
A lot of whom were, either
released from prison or other
drug dealers,
nothing
rapists.
Good. Nothing good. No bueno.
And caused havoc.
I believe Bill Clinton lost his 1982 election for governor in Arkansas.
That's correct.
One of the reasons was that he took on a large number of Cuban refugees into Arkansas, and many of the good folks of Arkansas did not like this, and he was punished for this in the 1982 election, and many people believe it was because of this. So having 100,000 or 200,000 or 300,000 Cubans showing up in Florida would be, say, right before the U.S. midterms, could be very destabilizing. So this is absolutely...
And Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, has warned explicitly against this scenario,
saying that he'll resist it, or he'll stop the boats from arriving, or this sort of thing. He'll use the National Guard or something to try and stop this. So he's right to be concerned. If I'm the Cuban regime, this is my nuclear option, because it's so politically destabilizing. And so I think this is a concern. The other concern, I think, is as we put pressure on the Cuban regime, there are many Cuban Americans in Florida who have family in Cuba. If those family members are suffering from the power outages or food shortages, and they ascribe blame to the Trump administration, you could see the same folks who are seeking pressure on Cuba to have second thoughts. So this is something to watch. So I hope that we can see significant change in Cuba. I hope that there doesn't come to a military action. I hope that the current Cuban regime does not seek to have a Mario boat lift 2.0. And I hope the pressure is powerful, but not so powerful that it hurts innocent people unduly.